Hey there, everybody. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you all had a nice weekend. I did. Didn't get a video done. That's why I'm doing this one today. I forgot what. Saturday was a rainy day, just total lazy, stay around the house day. And yesterday I was feeling cooped up, so I went down to Pensacola and enjoyed it. But anyhow, it's just hard to believe it's already February, isn't it? What is today, the 3rd or the 4th? Jeez, man, this year's going by. This year will be gone before we know it. Anyhow, today I want to share a little reading talk with you from Lessons from the Four Agreements, Building Structure for a Happy Life. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you go down and hit that subscribe button now, then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you will stay subscribed to the channel. I usually don't even talk about the magazine. I can't give you a link to this one. This little magazine I pick up when I go to Pensacola, Natural Awakenings. But I think they have them, they're syndicated, so there'll be some different articles in there, but check your health food store sometime. I get these every month, and they usually have something good in there that I can share. But anyhow, this is called Building, like I said, Building Structure for a Happy Life, Lessons from the Four Agreements by Cassandra Spears. She wrote the article. And the book is by Don Miguel Ruiz. If you've never read it before, The Four Agreements is a wonderful book. And it starts off with a quote of his: "Our idea of who we are isn't everyone's idea of who we are. It may not be anyone's idea." As a life and spiritual coach, I would put Don Miguel Ruiz's The Four Agreements, A Practical Guide to Personal Freedom, at the top of my recommended reading list. Published in 1997, the book offers a code of conduct based on ancient Toltec wisdom. Ruiz's agreements provide a structure for achieving and maintaining happiness in our lives. Of course, we are expert enough to find fault in everything, most of all ourselves. But if we keep a light heart when reading and applying the agreements one day at a time, we'll come to recognize that we are living the dream we were meant to live. Here are Ruiz's four agreements with my thoughts added. 1. Be impeccable with your word. Mean what you say and say what you mean. The more aware and kinder you are with your words, the better received and understood they will be. What you say is your power to create heaven or hell. Your thoughts can create your world. So be careful when you take on others' opinions as your own beliefs. Most of those opinions are not even true. Determine which of your thoughts are just someone else's opinions and replace them with what is true. Be impeccable with your word to yourself. Be kind. How much you love yourself and how you feel about yourself are directly proportionate to the quality and integrity of your word, Ruiz writes. Don't take anything personally. Whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. We are all living and creating our own dream. What is said to you or about you, good or bad, is never really about you. No one knows you or how or what you think. Their opinions are not usually based on fact. If you agree with someone's negative opinion of you, you take on that opinion and judge yourself, sending yourself to hell. To me, that's what hell is, constantly judging yourself, thinking, I am not enough. Meanwhile, the judges are making assumptions and projections that aren't true. This brings us to the third agreement. Don't make assumptions. When we make assumptions, we believe they are true. Most of the time, they are not. We may be misinterpreting or misunderstanding someone else's words or actions. We make assumptions about our relationships, what others think about us, what they believe, and what they know and don't know, and what they should and shouldn't do or say or be. Most assumptions are judgments. When we make assumptions, we can cause conflict. The root of war results from making assumptions, taking things personally, and misinterpreting others. What is the one thing we can do to stop assuming? That's right, ask. Ask. Yes, it takes courage, and of course we don't want to appear vulnerable or weak in any way, but it is better to stick to our assumptions and completely misinterpret someone and cause conflict. So ask, and whatever the answer is, don't take it personally. Number 4, always do your best. Our best changes from day to day. Some days we're making assumptions and judgments, not being very impeccable with our word, taking everything personally. Other days we do better. Here's the key. Every day we get to begin again to do our best, or to quote the Buddha, each morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. So every day, strive to be impeccable with your word, not take anything personally, not make any assumptions, and always do your best. Keep going, and somewhere down the path you will begin to notice a kinder, gentler self showing up and doing its best, and you'll be happy. Those two I really keep in my mind all the time. I mean, they all resonate with me, and I like to think that I'm impeccable with my word, or pretty good with being impeccable about my word. I'm probably a bit of a slacker when it comes to always do your best. But one I really take to heart, and I try to practice as much as possible, is don't take anything personally. That's so much what we see on social media. There's just arguments all day, every day. Doesn't matter what the subject is, doesn't matter what you're talking about. People are always arguing, and a lot of it is because people are taking things that are written down by strangers personally. You can't take any of that stuff personally. Now, you learn that even more so when you do a YouTube channel and you have, following a fairly decent following on, say, an Instagram or whatever. And there's people that are out there, they're just chipping away at your time. They're chipping away at your mentality, because that's all they do, all day, every day. There's professional trolls out there that are just trying to get a reaction from you. But also, too, there's other people out there that you know. There's decent people out there that are also trying to get a rise from you, or that might be saying things negative to you. And in those cases where it's somebody that's actually in your life, day to day, whatever, they can be assholes, don't get me wrong. But a lot of times, don't take it personally. It's down to they're projecting. They have something going on in their life. Sometimes people can, they don't mean to. They're not necessarily bad people. They don't necessarily do it all the time, but they're dealing with something, or they've had something happen to them, and their action towards you is all about that. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. I see it all the time. I read a lot of stuff, and I ingest a lot of stuff on the internet, and half the things I see people get angry about, if they would read, you don't have to read the book. I've not read the book. I've read a lot of good excerpts on this book. I've read a lot of good articles on the book. I've read the basics of the book, but just by listening to this, don't take anything personally. Don't take anything personally. It's such good advice to live by in life. And don't make assumptions. That's something that I've tried to work on for a long time, and I think I've gotten pretty good about it. Now, we all make assumptions. We all make generalizations. We all have stereotypes. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing 100%. It's just the fact when you're shackled by those assumptions. In other words, when you make an assumption and you can't learn, be told, hear anything else outside of that assumption. A lot of times we'll make an assumption about something, it's just kind of assessing the situation. I don't see a problem with that. Like I say, if I make an assumption, but if I have an open mind to, okay, this is how I assume things are, but in my mind, in the back of my mind, I'm going, but I don't know that to be true. And I'm willing to hear information, data, viewpoint that can change my mind on that. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed that little reading. Misconnecting with you on Saturday, which I usually do on the weekends. And I think I got another video planned in the next couple of days. So if you like this one, I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up. Maybe share it on your social media so some other people can see this kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff that could maybe give people a little perspective on their social media life. And I'll see you guys in a few days. Peace.